everyone. Welcome to the X Level. This is Darren L. Wright, starting off another episode of the X Level. Got some individuals in the building with me here.
Hey, yes, I'm his co-host tonight. I am Kelley Williams-Bolar, and that's Kelley with 2 E's.
Who else we got in the building with us here?
And we got Pariece Williams.
Pariece?
Yes.
All right. Longtime friend of mine here stepping in. He is going to be handling the high school edition of the Sports Talk, and he's sitting in with us here. Keep in mind, everyone, the podcast will be video and audio in a couple of weeks. Right now, we are just doing audio. Please look up our YouTube channel, Upscale Media Group. Like us, listen, and subscribe. All right. You got some things going on here, Kelley. What are we talking about today?
All right, we're going to dive right in. But first, as always, I'm just so excited. I'm so happy to be here tonight. And just thank you once again.
All right. She
All
makes
right.
me smile when she says all that thing.
Yes. Okay, so tonight, kind of want to talk about the Byron Allen. Yeah.
Okay.
And what's going on, because today is Wednesday. Today was the day that he went to Supreme Court, and they had the discussion, or the trial in regards to if he was treated with discrimination or not. Mm-hmm. So it's really interesting to see this. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, Allen claimed Comcast refused because he was black. They claimed that he refused because he was a black man. And his lawsuit pointed in Section 1981 of the Civil Rights Act in 1866, which says that all people should have the same right to make and enforce contracts as is enjoyed with white citizens. Okay, so that's his dispute. That's his argument. So we don't know yet. It will take a few months. But right now, the only thing we do know is that Byron Allen feels discriminated against with Comcast. And, he's not the only one. I've heard this on many other occasions with Comcast and distribution as far as other African or African-American or, minority businesses. So I would like to see how this is going to play out. What's your perspective, Darren?
I've followed this here. Just to kind of clarify a couple of things, he actually won the lawsuit.
Yes.
Initially, and Comcast at that point took it to the Supreme Court. It was one on a lower level, if you will. And Comcast took it to the Supreme Court. Comcast is one of the biggest players, as we know. They own everything. Mm-hmm. But what they've done now is challenge that
1866 Act.
Yeah, the
yes.
act. Yeah, the act. And from my understanding, once that act is challenged, if it's stricken off the books, if you will, it makes it harder for individuals to contest, bring suits against, and things of that nature from a discrimination standpoint.
So what do you think? Do you think they're going to erase that?
Let's talk about what has happened. The Comcast has reached out, and they're trying to have the White House, if you will, lobby to have some of their attorneys write a friendly letter, if you will, to the courts, what they've done. Mm-hmm. Basically saying, we don't believe this act should be valid. Let's get it stricken, and let's move forward. What we don't understand from a minority or black standpoint is the damage that could be done if that happens.
Absolutely. It's going to push us back
500,
right,
400 years.
It's going to push us back,
yeah.
And that's just a monopoly. It's like they are bullying.
Right.
That's a form of bullying.
It
you
is.
know, I mean, because you're already a monopoly. You already dominate everything out there, and then you're going to do that as well. So that just shows that you're showing your strength. That
right.
you have against minorities or other people.
And if you recall, years ago, they voted, and I say but they, to break up monopolies. The AT&T, mm-hmm. the Time Warner, all those type of things were set up to break the monopolies where no one company could capitalize or dominate the market. But if you had to ask me, do I think it occur? Byron Allen feels pretty good. He said even though he didn't bring the suit to the Supreme Court, he feels pretty good. He's fighting it. He doesn't believe it's going to be overturned. I think there needs to be more communication or fight, if you will, from the legislators on the Senate and the Hill floor. That's what I believe should happen. I think there needs to be more aggressive tactics to understand that.
Right. And why not? Okay, when this man, Byron Allen, his net worth is up there.
Oh, yeah.
So my thing is, do like my boy in Atlanta and get your land and start your own. That's how we're going to be able to rise up.
You don't want Tyler Perry?
Tyler Perry, absolutely. I already know the history here. I know the history. I'm not oblivious to this. It's not like I'm a foreigner just now coming into this world. So I know the history. Why not just say, hey, I'm deuces, man. Y'all did me. It was a great service. We did great together. I feel like this right here is not proper. But forget, crying the discrimination thing. Let me go over here and do my thing. We got plenty of land. We got plenty of opportunity now. Tyler Perry didn't just come up with that. It's there. And now it's there for the making, or for the taking. It's there. Do it.
I agree. I disagree with that. I totally disagree. And let me explain why. I disagree from the standpoint that Byron Allen is creating opportunity. Mm-hmm. He's creating a footprint in this environment. And by him fighting, that's creating the potential for individuals to go in and do the same thing he's doing. Mm-hmm. If you don't know it, Byron Allen owns the Weather Channel.
Right.
He owns a host of networks. And his whole mindset is, let's go in, let's make it an equal playing field. Let's let minorities get in and be able to play. He can do like some individuals, take their ball and go in the corner and just work for themselves, but I support him 100%.
I absolutely support him, but I also love the idea of creating something as massive as Tyler Perry did. I think that was absolutely phenomenal. Now,
he's done that though. He's done that. It's on a different scope though.
It's on a different scope.
He's done it. He's building. I mean, all the channels and networks that he owns, he's done the exact same thing. He's just going in and allowing himself to try to spread it across the whole geographical footprint, if you will, as opposed to one little region.
And he's still looking for that equality amongst.
That's all. Yeah, that's exactly
amongst
right.
everyone, and I get it.
And he want to take it. He ain't saying give it to me. He's not worrying about equal opportunity.
Right.
Affirmative action.
Right.
I'm gonna fight for it. So.
But yet the act they want to remove.
Yes.
See, so everything that you just said, then you got the Comcast coming in trying to remove all that you just said. Whereas what you just said, you said he got this, he got that, he got Weather Channel, he got all these different things in perspective, giving us all an opportunity, which he is, or giving people an opportunity or a platform to be successful. But then you got this over here, the act that they're trying to remove. Mm-hmm. So now that's gonna make, if they get that removed, how equal will it be then?
Now, and keep in mind, that was Comcast bringing it to the Supreme Court. That wasn't nothing that Byron wanted to have done.
Correct.
So
that's what.
That was just a situation. That was collateral damage, if you will, for the fight. So, will it happen? We don't know. We just gotta stay constant and kind of be aware of that information.
Okay. On a lighter note.
I like the heavy notes.
The heavy notes is really heavy. Okay. And I'm glad we had that discussion. But just on a lighter note, we are in November. We're winding down the year. And I think, between now and the new year, I would kind of like to start talking about situations that has happened in our country that is unforgettable.
All right, we're going to do that.
There was a woman back in July.
Snuck that one in on me, Reese. I wasn't ready for that one.
You wasn't ready? Get ready. Okay, so got that life jacket. So listen. There was a woman. She posts. Now, this is the thing I want to do as we go every week, every podcast. I would love to be able to just talk about something unique, something that happened in our country that's kind of odd, and make you go, what? Mm-hmm. So anyway, it was a lady back in July. She was wanted. And so her mugshot, once she noticed her mugshot, she decided to post her own mugshot on social media. Now, mind you, she was wanted by the po-pos. The police was looking for her. The FBI was looking for her. She was one of the most wanted. So she decided to post her picture and talk about how ugly her picture was. This right here was a Louisiana woman. She was wanted for second-degree murder. I mean,
what?
Absolutely. And she was mad because of her photo was not what it should have been. So she called it, quote unquote, that ugly picture.
Did she post it on Facebook?
And she posted it on Facebook. And so they found her.
Come on now.
Did they find her from the ugly photo or the better photo?
They found her. I don't know which photo they found her. They had to look up the numbers on her computer or whatever. But they did find her.
Thing? Okay.
Yeah, and she did. She went to jail. But it's just like, how do you do that? How do you?
So Reese, where did she take the pic? Was it at the club? Please don't tell me it was at the club. She took the photo.
No, this is a mugshot. She took this mugshot.
Oh, she took a previous mugshot.
Right, she took a previous mugshot. Some kind of way they let her go. Now, why they let her go and had, she had to come back.
Put up her mugshot.
And so she got mad at this mugshot and decided to post it and say how ugly it was. Yeah, and they went through the IP and they found where she was at talking about her mugshot.
Wow. Amazing.
So I just thought that was...
What was she smoking?
Yeah. What was she smoking? And it's so funny because just on that, I want to spin off. Today, during my lunch, I ran to Walgreens. I got a little hungry, and I was like, let me just find something.
They sell hamburgers at Walgreens?
Nah, I wasn't eating burgers today. No meat for me today. But what happened was, so I'm walking down the aisle, and then there's a young man, and he's walking past me, and I didn't really pay him no mind because I'm looking at some food. That when I get hungry, I don't look at nobody. I'm focused. Right. So here we go. This guy, he walks by. He said, "Hi, Miss Williams," and I looked. I was like, "Huh?" And I was like, "What are you doing here?" I said, "You're supposed to be in class." He was like, "I graduated in 2012. So I was like, "Really? What?" So I said, "Well, what are you doing with yourself?" And then he took my breath away because I ended up talking to him for at least 20 minutes. I got back to work super late because what he was telling me was deep because he's not the only one this is going on with. He was telling me, he said, I asked him, I said, "Where are you working? Where are you working? And how's things going for you?" And he was like, "I'm not working right now, but I'm kind of like in between jobs." I was like, "Okay, I get it, because you're young, and anybody can be in between jobs, And then he goes on to tell me that he don't have his license. I'm like, "You 25? You don't have your driver's license?" I said, "What, it got taken?" And he was like, "No, I just never got them."
Oh. So
I was like, "Well, why?" I said, "Most kids be wanting them. The boys, they want their license very fast. They want them before they get out of high school." So I was like, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "How come you never, got this or whatever?" And he was telling me, he went on to say, "Well, my mom's on drugs, my dad, da. And I understand that. I get it. But I also wanted him to know, and if we have any young listeners, this is so very important, that you do not, I'm not going to go into all the details that I talked to this young man about, but I there's something that's universal or rule of thumb for me, and that is you do not have to be a product of which you were born into. You do not have to, whatever's going on with your parents. I don't care if they're on drugs. I don't care what the situation is right now. I don't care if they're incarcerated. And you're young adults. You're in your 20s. You can't live off of them because they made their bed. You have to go on and become that individual you need to be great out here, to give back to your community, to have the great. If opportunity doesn't present itself, you make it present itself. You create your own platform. That's how you do it. When someone steps on you, you use that and you create a platform. Do you want to chime in, or Pariece, you want to chime in, Reese?
Yeah, I think that may not be as much his fault as the people that's surrounding him, and I understand that he's having problems with his parents or adults around him, but it's the adults' fault. Absolutely. That they should make sure that young man is taking care of the business that he need to be taken care of as he's growing up. Yeah. Getting your driver's license, learning how to pay bills, being responsible, finishing school, looking forward to where you're going to be in the next 5 years, where you're going to be in the next 10 years. You cannot go through life and at a 25-year-old and not have your driver's license.
Right.
That is really absolutely a no-no.
Yeah.
So
it's
they failed him. They failed him.
They absolutely failed him. And I did talk to him. I told him, I said, friend me on social media so we can stay in contact, and I told him whatever I can possibly do to help you, get your license. But I told him, I said, just understand that at certain times in your life, you got to say, look, I got to make this happen. If I have to go get the BMV, if I have to go there and a DMV, if I have to go there and get my own driver's license book, I'll have to go get it. I was trying to want him to understand what short-term goals are versus long-term goals, and what do you want right now.
Right. Now, if you're a kid and you being raised up in that type of situation, it's not inconceivable that you could ask some of your friends' parents.
Mm-hmm,
it's no shame in asking your best friend's parents, can you help me? My parents are not
supportive.
Supportive. They're not taking care of what they need to take care of. Ask someone. Hey, what is the old term? Reach one, teach one.
Right. That's right.
It takes a village.
It takes a village.
To sometimes they fall short, and we just got to pick each other up. And
support one another. That's what I was telling him. I said, look, dude. Look, you know my situation. You knew what happened to me or whatever. I said, I didn't fault anybody else. I had to get myself together and refocus.
Right.
I said, you just got to refocus. And if you never had to refocus, which sounds like he never even understood maybe even what that would be.
Right.
I just told him, I said, you sit down and you tell yourself, okay, I need to make short-term goals. Short-term goal is to get licensed. Short-term goal is to get a little $700,000 car or something, get a little job, go to a factory, get a little job, get something and get yourself going. Start building yourself. So by the time you're 30, 35, you can look back and say, look how far I've come. Right. And now I can start, and always to pay things forward. You don't want to ever be that one with your hand out. You want to be that man. Mm-hmm. And I also went into detail about relationships. I said, do you have a girlfriend? And I asked that because I'm like, what girl would want, and I wasn't downing him. I wasn't downing the situation because he didn't understand and he didn't know. But I wanted him to understand their statuses out here. And I hate to say that. I tell the kids that all the time in my school, and it's shameful to say that their statuses, but it's true.
Right.
You don't want someone who's not doing anything.
Right.
So you have to, so I told him, I said, you in a relationship with a girl, if that girl is satisfied with you not having your license, not having a car, not being, having a job, I said, then y'all, this is a problem.
Right.
Somebody, you gotta get a partner that's that you guys gonna want to elevate one another.
Right.
And so I was just talking to him, and he's a sweet kid, and hopefully, hopefully he'll get himself together.
It's not too late. 25,
no,
he's
still young.
Right. And he could turn out to be something very, very special.
Yes.
But he need to start now.
Start now. You got anything to say?
No, that's pretty much it. So.
Okay.
Pretty much it there.
Okay. And so that's all for me. So
that's it?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, very good. I don't think I got anything else today, so we'll put that pretty much to rest here and get our topics together for the following week here. So I think that's pretty much it. I want to thank Reese for stopping by here.
Appreciate you
on the X level.
X level.
For sure.
And it's going to get, I'm just so excited because, we're getting to know each other. We're building bonds in this room. And as time goes on, it's going to get more and more. It's just going to be so amazing. I could just see where we're going to be a year from now. This is awesome. X level. And anybody out there, if you hear us or if you hear what we're saying, leave a comment. Leave a comment on Facebook or whatever you see this on. YouTube, Facebook, however, Darren let you know what it's on. But hey, leave a comment, just saying something, showing us some love. Show us some love just by saying, hey, we pro X level, or we team X level. That's it, team X level. Let us know you love us. Let us know you want us. You want more of us.
That's right.
And we also look for, like Darren said, we're gonna be advertising. If you got something, if you have a product or anything like that,
yep,
and you think you want to do, we already got people in line. So don't wait. Come on, bring it, because we already got people calling and wanting their products and wanting their items and stuff out here for it to be known. So, you know, and we got people starting to listen from all over the country already. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited about that. Boston and Arizona, and so we in there. So stay tuned.
All right.
All right, so tell everybody where they can find you at. We're gonna do that after every.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All your IGs.
Should I do something or no? Cause I go ahead and go.
You in here?
No, go ahead. You can go ahead.
Yours,
You can say it, then I can put it on to yours.
Okay, so
Lift the mic up a little bit.
okay, should I say where to find me?
Social media.
Yeah, just tell me your name and
Facebook.
There you go. So go ahead.
Now this is Pariece Williams. You can find me on Akron Reese Cup on Twitter and Facebook. Pariece Williams, PARIECE WILLIAMS. And stay tuned.
Yeah. And here I am, Kelley Williams-Bolar, and you can find me on Facebook. And again, that Kelley is 2 E's. I always have to say that because people love to leave that second E out. Also on Twitter, I am also on Twitter with it's Kelley W. Bolar, and I'm on Instagram. My full name again, Kelley Williams-Bolar. So check me out, you guys.
all right. And I'm Darren L. Wright. You can find me on Twitter as D_upscale, the number 1, D_upscale, the number 1, and also DJ D Rizzo, and that's RIZZO, as well as Instagram. And look for us on YouTube under Upscale Media Group. Upscale Media Group. And I'm on Facebook as Darren L. Wright, and that's DARON. Darren L. Wright. Upscale Media Group. Thank you.